Well, as everybody knows, we are in the dog days of summer, right? That lingo comes out a lot. And so with that comes a warning for pet owners. We're going to be here with veterinarian Sherry Trusheim from Urban Animal to talk about what we've been talking to viewers about, getting tips from you, how to keep your pets cool.
We're going to talk about that, but first we want to talk about something that one of our own reporters found themselves caught up in just this week. This nasty little culprit right here. People who have dogs know all about this foxtail grass. Yes. What do we need to know about this?
So it's really prevalent in the area. They're little grass seeds, foxtails, and they're almost like little fish hooks. They've got a little barb on it, and if dogs or cats, but it's primarily we see it in dogs, are tootling through this grass, it'll get between their toes. It'll actually work into the skin and work its way up into the body and can cause some really nasty infections. We also see them get into the ears, and they'll be right up against the tympanic membrane, which is the eardrum separating the external ear from the internal ear, and they can be a real bugger. They can be real hard to manage.
Apologies, we had a tiny bit of audio issue there in the beginning, so we just want to reestablish this foxtail in particular with dogs. I know my parents, their dogs, they got a couple of springers, got into those, they had to go into the vet, they had to be removed that way. So you did mention they kind of look like little fish hooks, and if
they have little barbs on them, so they work like a fish hook, like they don't really come out, they only keep going in, and so they can be really challenging to find. So if you exercise your dog in an area where these are prevalent, looking in between their toes afterwards, because they don't just jam right into the skin, it takes some time to work in.
Is this something we can extract
You can just pluck them off the fur very easily. It's when you don't inspect them after they've been in an area with these. I mean, ideally you just keep your dogs out, but they're so prevalent here, it can be really challenging. So you inspect in between their paws, lift up their ears, especially like your Springer, big long ears. Look for them and pick them off before they're a problem.
And then have you been listening to some of our ideas about what to do to keep animals cool in the summer? Do you have any?
It's texting in right now.
It's kind of same. Like how do we stay cool? Like stay in the shade, lots of cool water, hydrate. You know, the biggest problem, I make a little pitch for brachiocephalic dogs, smushy faced dog, like big.
All the short-nosed?
Yeah, short-nosed dogs, they overheat in a second. They start panting, and then their airway starts to occlude. So those dogs, it's imperative you keep them cool. You've got to keep them in front of a fan if you don't have air conditioning, lots of cool water, never leave them outdoors. They will overheat and it can become life-threatening. The rest of them, keep them in the shade, ideally indoors in front of a fan, lots of cool water, hose them down. There's a great picture right there.
You got to be careful too. I remember when I used to live in Oregon and I would play with my dog all summer long, and then I moved to Texas and I was like, I'm going to do the same thing. And I didn't realize it, and my dog was playing frisbee and just wouldn't stop and started to like tumble over. I'm like, oh no, I pushed her to her limits.
No intense exercise. Early in the morning, late in the evening, kind of same times when you water your plants, right? So otherwise everybody should just chill out, literally.
And then I mean, it sounds silly to say, but are they any different than us? I mean, for you and I'll jump in front of a fan, but obviously they've got a layer of fur. So when I left the house today, I left the fan on for my cats, and I thought, is this silly?
Does it work?
No.
Is this even going to affect them?
Not silly at all. Like totally perfect. They can't sweat the way we can, so they don't have the same ways to cool themselves. So keeping them cool, in shade and with water on them, they don't have the same ability to cool themselves off as we do. So they do even worse in the heat.
Wow. Thank you so much. You guys can text the word pets to your screen, or not to your screen, on your phone. The number's on the screen. And again, Foxtails, try to remove those. And then, of course, best ways to keep your pets cool. Thank you.
Text pets, we'll kick you back.
Yeah.
All the info you need to know.